Welcome to your daily 49ers update. I'm Rob Stats Guerrera. Here is what's happening. The 49ers crushed the Bears 38-13 on Sunday, thanks in part to a dominating first half that saw the Niners rack up 319 yards and only allow 4 to Caleb Williams and company. How do they do it? Well, after the game, there was a lot of talk about a meeting the Niners held on Saturday that featured speeches by Diamador Lenore and Brock Purdy. So, George Kittle, what was the message of that meeting?
I think the message was we need to play with more of a sense of urgency and play desperate because you just haven't really sensed that. And I've been on teams where it felt like, was it 2 years ago we were on whatever, like 8-9 game win streak, whatever that was. And it literally felt like every play people were just scratching, clawing, and fighting for everything. And I'm not going to call anybody out. Like we've all like not taken a play off, but just not fought our hardest on every given play. And that was kind of the message, like, guys, just put it all out there. Because we have the players, we have the playmakers, we have the play call, and we have everything to win games. But, we have to do it out of desperation. And when you're playing desperate and you're playing like, hey, if we don't win this game, our season potentially is over, that desperation fuels guys in different ways. And it's just how you take that and how you channel that energy. And I thought our guys did a great job of that today.
That says a lot about this team, both good and bad. I think the question everyone else is wondering is, why didn't you guys have that meeting a couple weeks earlier, right? It would have been nice if you could have spoken up before the team was in such a big hole. But regardless, at least for 1 week, it appears to have worked. Kyle Shanahan, after the game, obviously, was just as pleased, but not just with the outcome.
Wanted to make sure that we came out today and just showed grit. We wanted to fight, and these last 2 weeks just not making it a game was something we weren't proud of. We were ready to battle today, regardless of how that went. It went as good as it could, so I mean the win was awesome, but I just wanted to make sure our 10 and how our team worked were ready, and you could tell in the meetings last night, guys were ready for this game, and it came out and it showed.
Grit, of course, good. So are 452 yards of total offense and going 5 of 6 at scoring touchdowns in the red zone, but sure, grit's good. So the win moves the 49ers to 6-7 on the year. Unfortunately, their playoff odds actually went down from 9% to 8% because they didn't gain any ground in the NFC West. The Seahawks beat the Cardinals and the Rams beat the Bills. Ugh. Where do things stand? Seattle leads the division at 8-5. The Rams are 1 game behind at 7-6. The Niners and Cardinals bring up the rear at 6-7. Of course, the Niners still play the Rams and Cardinals, but even if they win in both of those games, they're still going to need help. That is the hole that they have dug themselves in. If you're wondering about the wild card, the Niners trail the Commanders by 2 games. They're 8-5. Washington finishes the season with the Saints, Eagles, Falcons, and Cowboys. We always give you one thing to read, one thing to watch, and one thing you might have missed. One thing to read on this Monday. If you want to know more about this team meeting, Tim Kawakami had a nice write-up in the San Francisco Standard. I will drop the link in the description of this episode. One thing to watch, Isaac Guerendo's foot injury. He played well with over 100 yards from scrimmage and 2 touchdowns, but he didn't finish the game because of a foot sprain, or what Kyle Shanahan is calling a foot sprain. We know how he can be with injuries. Guerendo is going to have an MRI later today. Kyle will have an update during his conference call. For what it's worth, Isaac said after the game he's not concerned about the injury. He thinks he's going to be fine, but they play the Rams in only 4 days. So that thing, but whatever it is, better heal up quickly. One thing you may have missed, George Kittle said he wanted more targets after the Bills game. He got them on Sunday. 6 targets, 6 catches, 151 yards. So, George, did Kyle Shanahan get the message?
Last week to our game plan, I thought I was going to have 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, and that's just not the way it happens. And I very much believe in the football gods. If you just go out there and you play your best, no matter what happens, receiving wise, that the ball is going to eventually find your way. And I kind of think that's just what happened today. And I try to be as reliable as I possibly can for Kyle and this organization. And Kyle just called the plays today, and I found myself open on all of them.
That's a nice way of saying, yeah, I think he did. And oh, by the way, congratulations, George Kittle. You are just the 3rd tight end ever with 500 catches and 7,000 receiving yards in your first 8 NFL seasons. That's a wrap on today's 49ers in 5. Please rate, review, and follow the Gold Standard Podcast Network. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Click the bell to get notified when we're live. which is every single weekday after every single 49ers game, and of course, following all Niners breaking news. Enjoy your Victory Monday, everybody. I'm Rob Stats Guerrera. We'll talk later today.